King of Queens, what's going on? I hope everybody doing good, doing great, taking care of your health, stand to yourself. We got a good video for y'all today. Let's get into it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's get into it, man. This victim mentality exposed. I guess a college student is going up against someone who's going to school them. I have no idea. Let's get into it, though. I think it was dope. I saw the title. I saved it. I'm just like, forget it. Two people of my ethnicity. I like to see the older people talking to the younger people. And I'm going to be fair. We play the victim a lot in life, no matter what the scenario or situation is, whether it's a job, whether it's everyday, day-to-day life, whether it's relationship stuff. We love to not hold ourselves accountable for our actions and place what we do off on other people. And the predicaments and situations that we place ourselves in, we tend to say it's a system, or it's the white man, or this person is the reason, or my parents and the way they brought me up, and this and that. No, we're adults. To some fashion, to some form, you can say, okay, my parents raised me this way. This is why I'm kind of formulated like this in a sense. But no, you have to wisen up and realize if how they raised you is not the correct way, and if you're not benefiting, and if you're a terrible individual, just change those things and become better. You know what I mean? So, because whatever you put out, you will receive. So for most of us who love to play the victim and realize that it's just not getting us anywhere, we have to wake up and be an adult and just do better and stop blaming everybody. Your decisions are ultimately your decisions. You can't fault anybody for you making a mistake when you know right from wrong. So let's get into this video.
I'm Chris.
What's your name?
Chris.
Chris? Okay, yeah. Chris.
I want you to tell me exactly the point in history where America was great.
It's funny. Point to me a time in history where America wasn't great. Tell me where it starts.
The birth of America?
Point in America where America wasn't great.
On murder and thievery and deception. What do you mean?
Now let me explain this to you real quick. This is for everybody to listen to. Everybody always have this perception that we shouldn't acknowledge America as being great. America started at a certain point and grew and came better over time. No country that you know of was 100% perfect at the foundation. No country.
You didn't answer my question.
In the world. No countries in Africa, no countries in Europe. You can name it. Everybody started at a certain point, and it became greater over
didn't
time.
Answer my question.
Ever since you've been alive, America has been the greatest it's ever been.
You think so?
100%, brother. You can name somewhere else that's better than America. And why don't you live there?
I'm not sure.
I know you're not sure because they don't exist.
Show
me somewhere else that's as diverse as America.
Hey, listen, despite everything that we do battle in life in America, them third world countries, listen, y'all don't want Afghanistan, Iran. It's places that you don't even want to go to. That's why when people be like, oh, it's the hood, you go to Jamaica? I ain't gonna lie, it's some nice places in Jamaica. But we went on a tour out there. Them kids, some of them barely got shoes that are in good condition. But I will say this, they're way more grateful than we are. We take a lot of things that we have for granted and we still complain. A lot. Yes, it's hard. It's not easy. Jobs are not calling back. Taxes are getting crazy. There's a lot of bills aren't cheap. You know what I'm saying? Jobs aren't paying. Let's not even, mention that. On top of them not hiring, they're not paying. So, and they want a lot out of you for a little pay. I get it. But if you go to them other places, or if you yell, or if you say the wrong thing on a sidewalk, if you hold in the opposite person, listen, they will get rid of you. Yeah, the rules in other places are a lot more strict than America. So yeah, we got it rough, but you don't want to live in them other places. I promise you.
Anywhere.
That's diverse.
That's as diverse.
What does diversity mean if people are being
for
discriminated
all
against?
People. Show me another country that give opportunities for all people like America.
Do you think
does.
we have the same opportunity as everybody else, as black people?
Yeah, 100%.
With a 200-year economic head start on us and no
What's
reparations?
stopping you now? Aren't you at this university?
Yeah.
You're at the university just like all these white people. Mm-hmm. How's that any different? Can't you?
I want you to go two blocks that way and tell me where they at.
You can read. You can go to class. You can make good grades. I'm hoping that you're making straight A's. How is America stopping you from doing that? And how is it stopping you from being prosperous enough to go down the street and make a difference in your own community? How is America stopping you from doing that?
Why is it my responsibility to make a difference in my community that was sabotaged from the start?
Let's go back to the foundation.
Do you think the CIA planted drugs in our communities?
Okay, listen, all this conspiracy theory stuff, like, that's cool. But start where you know you can start. See, it just sounds like a bunch of excuses. Why am I supposed to be? Because if you don't, then who will? Who are you looking forward to? And then that's the thing. You're looking for somebody to make a change, but you don't want to be the change. That sounds like an excuse. And then you keep putting off the problems on other people. Yes, we know what people prior to us did. We know the history. We know the crazy amount of, what do you want to label it? I guess you can, the confusion or the catastrophic, negativity that was placed in all of that. We know that we had banks and and hospitals and we had a whole community that was bombed. We get it. We know that. That's cool. But that happened. It's done. Let's not forget about it. Let's remember what we had, but let's think about what we also can have again if the mindset change. But the more we play this victim and the more we complain and put things off on other people on why I don't want to do something or why should I do it, then don't complain about it.
Make you sell it.
Do you think they?
No. I agree. Do
you think they burned down
stories of how
black businesses? Do you know what Black Hollywood is?
Let's go one at a time. I've heard stories that the CIA planted drugs in the inner city communities. Not every black community, but in some. They still don't make you go and sell drugs to your brother, do they? Why are you not selling drugs right now? Because it doesn't make sense for you to do that. You have an opportunity to go to a university, get an education, and make yourself better and make your family better in the next few generations. Nobody's stopping us from doing that. I'm sitting on campus right now, and all these people are listening to me.
You know what's stopping
me?
Money.
In America, what's stopping you from making money in America?
It's very emotional, man. He young though, so we'll let that slide. But that's very emotional for you to mock this man when he's showing you nothing but a great level of respect. He's just having a conversation with you. He's not once cursed. That's another thing too. A lot of us black men are emotional. Like, we are extremely emotional. We don't know how to take constructive criticism. And it's crazy because somebody like this will be talking to us and we'll still have an issue with it as if this person is talking to us disrespectfully.
What the fuck is not stopping us from making money?
You go to the same university as all these white people. How you got it different?
Exactly.
You said what? Excuse me?
We still in debt.
We're in debt.
That's
our fault. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right?
Okay.
We were never given boots to begin with.
Let's start with this. I actually went and graduated from a university. So I'm not a guy that didn't go to college. I had a full scholarship, so I didn't pay for school my undergrad. Graduate school, I paid for out of my pocket. I did not get a...
Brother, get your hand off your head. You got your head turned to the side. You're exuding a lot of feminine energy, bro. Like, and then you keep making excuses. You keep on saying what you don't have and what... No. You keep on saying things that happen to other people. We're in debt. I'm in debt. Our choices lead us up to debt. I've had credit cards before, maxed them out. My grandma told me, make sure you pay on those. That's going to help your credit. What did I do when I was younger? Not pay on them. Later on down the years, had to pay on those. See, it's we don't listen to what we know we should be doing to better ourselves. And that's the difference in other cultures and ethnicities. They listen. And even in our culture, we listen. Some of us listen. I'm not going to say it like other people or other ethnicities are better than us, because I don't believe that. I'm for the people, for sure. But I'm just saying we have to stop making excuses on why we don't do something and stop blaming stuff that happened way before we was even thought about. How about we just make the change? How about we just be the change that we complaining about that's not changing?
I did not have to get loan forgiveness or nothing like that. I had $11,000 worth of debt and I paid it. How is that different than anybody else out here?
Because everybody doesn't have the same opportunity.
I'm black though. How did I pay my loan off and you can't? Or
where you from?
Well, I'm from Texas.
It don't matter. It don't matter where he from. That does not matter. Where you from? And see, we love to do that as black people. How many parents did you have? Yeah, both your parents. See, you privileged. How you fought me for having my mama and daddy? You mad at me because my parents, even if they wasn't together, I had both of them in my life. They was both productive parents in my life that helped me structure my mindset. How you fought me for that? Everything still is my decisions. Yes, I had a little bit of a better molding situation. I was molded a little different. But what are we saying? You can't fault the next person because of that. Just like it's people who grew up with one parent that are out succeeding people that had two. It's about your decisions ultimately, though.
It's Fort Worth, Texas, Dunbar High School.
Fort Worth,
right
Texas.
in the hood and stop 6. Right in the hood and stop 6. How did I get to this point if America's against me?
Did everybody in your neighborhood get to that point?
Well, different choices.
He ain't responsible or reliable for everybody. And what? Just like you're not responsible and reliable for anybody graduating college. You're going to have some friends that might not pass, but you're going to make sure that you do, right?
There's a lot of people in my
Where your
neighborhood that
childhood
made it
friends
out
at?
because they made better choices. I could have sold drugs. I didn't. Why? Because I wanted something better out of my life.
What do you say about the disproportionate wealth? Is that
Okay.
Does that not matter?
It's about culture. How much money do you save?
I don't know. I'm in debt, bro.
That's it right there. What are you, young man? God, this guy has a level of patience that I need to exude. Goodness. It's like you just want to have a problem. And this is what I used to do when I was younger. Problem after problem after problem after problem, not realizing that I need to just find a solution and stop coming up with these excuses. That is the problem. The excuse making.
You in debt. How much do you invest?
I don't know.
How did you get into debt? Who chose to come here?
Me.
Well, that's you laid it out. Now, when you come here, for every college student here, this should be an investment into your future.
Right.
Anybody that know anything about making money knows that you have to invest to get to the next step.
Always
You may
supposed to know
listen. You
anything
may
about
be in
making
debt.
money.
You may be.
You research it and learn. Same way you're going to do with your homework. How are you going to make good grades in school as far as when it comes to your homework? You're going to research it. The same way you can when it comes to making money, earning money, building your credit. It's the same thing. Everything is searchable.
Be in debt to make.
Everything that this guy is saying, this young man comes up with an excuse in a question. Who chose to come here? I did. Okay. How do you make money? How are you in debt? How are you in debt? I am. But I mean, how do I learn how do I need to, well, how do I go about, huh? You're in college, brother. You're intelligent, I would hope. Smarter than me. And I don't have to ask them kind of questions. It's like you're asking questions because you might be running from the truth. Some people ask questions and seek of the truth. Some people ask questions to keep running from the truth.
Make an investment to get to the next step. So if you do this properly, this is a debt investment to make more money in the future. If you come here and clown around and take a major that won't put you anywhere, then you just got into debt for no doggone reason. It's a cultural thing. Black people in America don't have wealth like others because they choose not to generate wealth through investments and passing their money down.
Who's teaching us to do this?
We should teach each other to do it. Why does somebody got to teach? You want the white man to teach us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, hell, teach us something.
Okay, no, you could teach something. You got to.
Why don't you go to successful black men who are well educated in that department and learn from them? Again, another excuse. An excuse statement.
College, you getting a college education. When you have children, teach your children.
Well, it's either an excuse statement or an excuse question.
Basically, help yourselves. We know you have this 200-year head start.
That
we know
doesn't
we've
matter, bro.
sabotaged
You don't have nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with that.
Oh,
you don't have nothing to do with
I
that.
thought you said one at a time.
You emote. See, I used to be him though, so I'm not completely just gonna be mad at this young man for how he acting and the energy that he's giving off. I used to not want to listen to the things that I should have listened to. I used to be combative to the things that I should have been receiving. But we got to learn the hard way. And I had to learn the hard way with life, with just dealing with life. Wishing that I had a big brother in a sense, or a mentor, for somebody to coach me and help me with my finances, with managing my emotions and my feelings, with knowing how to listen, with knowing how to make the right steps and choices in life. See, I used to yearn for that until I realized that maybe I had to teach myself, no matter what that route was, no matter, what direction I had to take with doing that, I did it. Whether it's reading a book, whether it's getting on YouTube and listening to these guys motivational speak, whatever it is, or somebody at my job, allowing them to take me under their wing and truly guide me. This is important.
You don't have nothing to do with that.
I don't have nothing to do with what?
The 200 years that you're talking about.
Yes, I do. Have you ever heard of generational trauma, generational wealth? My people don't own anything.
Where you come from?
Nothing. How can you build something when my people come from nothing? I come from South Memphis.
And I come from Stop 6.
Congratulations.
I went to university.
What does comparison mean? What does comparison mean when the statistics say?
That's exactly what you're doing. You comparing right now with all these lanes of opportunities. You're comparing now to what happened years ago when your parents probably wouldn't even thought of. What are you talking about? Or for sure your parents. That's what you're doing now.
That we are behind.
We're not behind. Some people are behind. We're not behind. Why? Because we make positive decisions. He not behind. He not behind. She not behind. Do I want to go?
You're on a college campus.
But does college guarantee a success?
You're on a college campus.
It depends on what you do with what you have presented to you. You born in wherever you were born at. Look at you now. What's the difference between you and other people that didn't choose?
Opportunity.
How did you get an opportunity that other people didn't? You were in debt, so you didn't have the money. You didn't have the money to pay for it.
My parents didn't have much, but they had enough to keep me out the hood trying to make some money any way I can. I know people who have no anything. They have to go out there. They have no other choice. They have a horrible education. Do you know what the education system is like here? It's horrible.
Okay, so let's explain it like this. I wanna make sure we talk it at the same level.
Right.
So in America, every single person has an opportunity to do something with what they have in their hand.
And we have nothing in our hands. That's the point.
Let me say this. I believe wholeheartedly that God gives you a hand of cards to play. Hear me out. Hear me out. God gives you a hand of cards to play. Not everybody's hand is the same. What you can have a full deck of great cards and you play them poorly, you won't make it in life. You can have a bad hand. You play them strategically and you play them right, you'll do good in life. You had a not so good hand growing up where you grew up at. You made positive decisions that led you here.
I'm going to end it right here, man. I don't want my camera to cut out, but man, this is a powerful video. I will finish this video. Make sure if y'all want to go watch the whole video. It is victim mentality exposed in heated college debate. Yeah, I'm about to piece this together, but this is really powerful right here, man. This is two different generations coming together with a healthy conversation. And I'm dang near getting chills. The way this brother is speaking to him is powerful. For many reasons, for me personally, with being in a space with this young man, as far as where he is like emotionally, I could tell that he's a very emotional person and he's trying to be deep, but he's just playing a victim. And I used to play the victim. I used to think that people owed me something. I used to think that I was, entitled to things that I wasn't entitled to have. I had to work for what I got. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still working. And it's only going to continue. But the more we make excuses, the more we create a wall and the more we create these roadblocks for ourselves, because we're telling ourselves something that's possible. And with creating these, issues for ourselves, in a sense, it makes it impossible because we get stuck. It's almost like we're on this Ferris wheel, or we're on this treadmill of excuses, and it's like we're running in place and we're not going anywhere. So get out of habit of that. If you tell yourself you could do something, work towards it. Don't think about the things that could possibly stop you from doing it. Don't think about, oh, I probably shouldn't do this because of this may happen, or I don't think I should go that because I think this. No, just work your butt off to do it. Blood, sweat, and tears. Make the best choices possible in order to get to that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. With that being said, love, peace, and prosperity. Hello or goodbye. Talk to me. Do not yell at me. We elevate until we hit our head. We ain't bleeding. Spread love, not hate. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. Be great.